I'm Renee Charles with the Heartland Partnership alongside President and CEO Jim McConaughey, and one of the things that we've been talking about a lot lately is stabilization in our economy. And there are several key indicators that you look at to evaluate that. So tell us a little bit about what makes you say we're stabilizing.
Yeah, it's still up in the air, so we're sort of bouncing along the bottom. But what we see is that retail sales is the primary indicator. Most people are spending the right amount of money for what they have as income. They are still looking at long-term purchases that are durable goods like cars and refrigerators and things. But we're seeing that people are not holding back on their expenditures like they have just in the recent few months. So that stabilization keeps sales tax base up for the municipalities and some of the governments, but most importantly keeps all the stores in business.
And it also shows signs of consumer confidence on the rise, and the more people see their neighbors becoming more confident, the more likely they are to go out and spend.
Exactly, and I think there's a fear that that in a two-family earned income house, there, one spouse maybe get into economic trouble. But I think that as we're getting further down through this recession, people are starting to feel more confident with it. Second thing we're looking for is that housing values continue to sell. We see that price stabilization is occurring across the board. In fact, new home sale values are coming back in line. I think that has a little bit to do with the Obama incentive cash for first-time home buyers and the extension. But also, people are feeling much better about the finance interest rates and their overall prospect on the housing.
In both of those two pieces, the housing and retail, we're seeing forecasts for 2010 actually positive. Now, it's not going to be where it was just a couple of years ago, but
right.
Positive compared to where we were just a few months ago.
Right, positive upswing for the last quarter in both those sectors. Now, the negative side has been continued this productivity or unemployment rate. And we're at or around 10%. That's not been adjusted yet for seasonality, but along with the feds and what we're seeing in the local state area, this is not very promising for coming down in the very near term. But the best part of the story is that we haven't seen increases either.
Right.
The trend line looks like we are staying right at or about 10%. And so again, from a stabilizing standpoint, right. The retail sales look like they're slightly increasing. The home sales are increasing fairly well relative to where they were year over year, and then the unemployment is flat.
All right, so good signs of stabilization for the economy for this region in general, and if you look at the entire nation, those are some things that we can keep an eye on.
It really is, and then the most important characteristic of this whole conversation is that this is not a significantly improving economy, but it is not deteriorating, and so we're just sort of bouncing along it's stable at this point.
And that flat is the new up.
Flat's the new up.
All right, Jim, thanks.
Thank you.